bit later. I don't know. But for the first thing we're going to get to here, we're going to talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, Indianapolis Colts. This is a crazy week right now. Every single game except 2 on Sunday is being played in the morning slot. This is a rarity that there's only 2 afternoon games. And that's largely due to the fact that I think most of the West Coast teams are on bye, and the teams on the West Coast that are playing are traveling to the East. So we have one of those rare things where I think there's like, I don't know. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in that early morning slot and 2 in the afternoon. But we're going to start this off in Indianapolis with the Bengals and the Colts. And Savannah, come on over. Jeff, hit us with some IDP. Give us some IDP. Give us some offense. Hit us with some injury news.
Oh, well,
by the way, Kelvin, I'm going to get you back.
Here we go.
Don't worry, he's gonna turn his face so you guys can see the makeover as it's happening. I'll start with IDP there with the Bengals. DJ Reader, big news for them. He was ranked as PFF's number 38 interior defender versus the run. He's on IR now due to a quad injury. I think that is a big loss for the Bengals, and it could contribute to a Jonathan Taylor breakout game. Bengals still have Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap coming back. I know they didn't practice today, but those are less days. The other thing going for Jonathan Taylor is Sam Hubbard is going to be out with an elbow injury. Zach Taylor said he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks or so. And then on the offensive side, we all know AJ Green had the hamstring strain. He re-aggravated it in the game. Taylor said he's going to practice tomorrow, but I don't see him playing this week. He's probably out for sorry about my dogs. Yeah, come here. He's probably going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks at least. So I'd lean more T. Higgins. I'm sorry, Calvin. You want to take it?
No, yeah, I got you. So there's actually 3 games this week that are, I think, the ugliest games of the week, and I think this is number 1 for me. It's the 3 games are like not quite as ugly as Matt's starting to look right now, but they're pretty ugly. The Colts and the Bengals have actually both been very good against the pass. So we think about the Bengals and you start saying like, okay, we'll start all your guys against the Bengals, but they've actually been very good. Part of that is I think teams are ahead and they're not necessarily having to throw on them. But like Jeff said, they've been really susceptible to the run. So I do think this is a really good week for Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor has a very, very big week. Couple of quick notes. T. Higgins led all Cincinnati wide receivers in snaps last week in week 5. We are getting to the point, and this is going to be a point to think about for all of these matchups now. With no preseason, we're now getting to that point where you're starting to see a couple of snaps, couple of things that snap percentages, targets. I think teams are starting to figure out a little bit more about what they do, and we're seeing where they want to go with this season. With T. Higgins leading them, he's a central part. There's a really good connection between Burrow and him right now. But listen, you're not starting Burrow. As much as I love Joe Burrow, you're not starting him this week. The Colts have been absolutely insane against the pass and the run. Their defense has been unbelievable. But against the pass, they have the second least amount of completions allowed. They have a 7 to 9 touchdown to interception rate right now. The least amount of completions, they have the least amount of yards of anyone allowed in the passing game, including people who've only played 4 games. They've played 5. Teams that have only played 4, they've still allowed less passing yards than those teams. You're really not looking at your Colts. You're really not looking at your Bengals. If you can go elsewhere, you are, except for Jonathan Taylor. And maybe Trey Burton, who looks like he is kind of taking over for Jack Doyle. So, Matt, how are we looking?
It's coming. slowly. So I'm looking at a couple things here. First off, I'm ready to watch T. Higgins ascend to the number one role in Cincinnati's wide receivers. You mentioned that snap count here. We know Tyler Boyd's best games come with A.J. Green in the lineup. We know that A.J. Green is – man, I can't even look at myself seriously right now. We know that A.J. Green is injured right now. He's battling a few things. He's not going to be there. He's definitely a guy who's possibly a trade target to be moved from the Cincinnati Bengals here in about 3 weeks or so. What that means is I think that's where T. Higgins comes in big. The thing I'm watching for here, does Joe Burrow continue to fall behind Justin Herbert amongst rookie quarterbacks in the National Football League? Because I put it in paper, I put it to pen. It's in a draft magazine that Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow, and I stand by that. And now people are starting to see that, oh, maybe it wasn't so crazy to begin with. People still have Burrow ahead of Herbert. I get it. But I think people thought that gap was a lot bigger going into draft season than what is being shown right now. Herbert has been absolutely fantastic. Joe Burrow, he's going to struggle this week. We know that Indianapolis pass defense has been good so far this year. That's what I'm watching for. The ascension of T. Higgins, because Burrow needs that receiver. He needs that big-time playmaker, and Higgins is that guy, especially in the red zone. What are you guys looking for in particular?
Well, I think to that end, I do want to see if Darius Leonard ends up playing or not. He didn't practice today as well. So if he's out, I feel like that's a little bit of a boost to Burrow at least. And then honestly, if Zach Taylor keeps using Joe Mixon the way he has been the past 2 weeks, I looked at it in the past 2 weeks. Joe Mixon has had 14 targets, while Gio Bernard only has 2. That's a big change. And Gio, I'm so tired of seeing that guy on the field. Mixon is a better pass catcher and better with the ball in his hands, and that'll help Burrow, I feel like. But
yeah, I do like that call. The only thing I'll add, I mean, said a lot there up front. The only thing I'll add is that it was good to finally see Phillip Rivers and T.Y. Hilton look like they were on the same page a little bit last week. Season high in targets for T.Y. Hilton. So that could be a good development for them. Phillip Rivers looks so bad right now. I hope he has something and there's some adjustments that he's going to be able to make. If not, they really need to lean on Jonathan Taylor even more than they already have.
I'm going to struggle here with getting the mouse here on the mute button and unmuting here. So let's just play a little devil's advocate here while we're at it. Top scoring receiver in this matchup, Higgins, Boyd, or T.Y. Hilton?
I'm going to say
Who you
Higgins.
got? Higgins?
I'll say Higgins. But again, this is my number one ugly game of the week. I hate everything about this game. I don't want to start anyone if I don't have to. Jonathan Taylor is going to be the best player in this game. Trey Burton might be the second best. I hate every single person in this whole. There's 3 games like this. This is number 1.